Hi, it's Tony with MTech Locks, and today we'd like to do some initial training on your new Smart Hotel software. So let's jump in. At Front Desk and on the desktop, you'll see a Smart Hotel icon, such as this one here. We're just going to double click on it, and we will now open up the operator login. And there are two operator codes, 01 for GM, admin access, and 02 for front desk for mainly guest card issuance. We'll look at the 01 GM admin account so that we can see all the features of the software. So if we just hit OK, there's not a password currently, but I'll show you how to do that after. So if we hit OK, we're going to open up the main window of the software. And on the left-hand side, we're going to see all guest rooms here, and then the public doors, which are for guest access and staff with the proper card. If we are going to issue guest cards, we just first have to select a room, and we can do that by going to all rooms, or we can drill down into the specific floors. So if we go to third floor, and we're going to check in 301. We would just select it by double clicking on the door icon. We get the guest card window that comes up. And here we're going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to find out how long our guest is going to stay with us. So we can do that through the staying days by just scrolling up or down. And we can also fill in the departure time, or we can use the calendar function here. So once we've selected the staying days, then we can allow access for the public doors. So we can just expand that to see all the public doors. And we just select it by the checkbox here, or deselect it. Now we put a guest card on our encoder reader that's plugged into the computer, and we hit new card. We get a card information window that comes up and tells us a little bit about the info, such as card type, door name, which the card will open, and the terminating or checkout time for that guest. So we hit OK, and then the card is now issued. If we hit OK again, that window closes, and now we can see that 301 has been checked in because it's red in color. If we want to issue more guest cards for that room, then we just double click on the door icon again, put a new card on the encoder, and hit copy card that is highlighted here. We can see that it will be the exact same card as the first one, and just hit OK. Take that card off, and then we can also make a new card as well. So a third card by hitting copy card, and then OK, and then OK once again. Now we can see that we've made 3 cards for 3 different guests for that room. And to get out of this window, we just hit cancel, and we're finished with guest cards. Just of note, if the guests are leaving before the departure time and we want to check in the room again, we first have to right click and check out the room. Say yes here. And now the room is checked out, but the status of it is vacant but dirty. If we want to change the status back to clean vacant, we can do that by right clicking, going to room status, and then doing a clean vacant. And then now we can check in the room again. Please note that the software will automatically show the rooms as checked out, so you don't have to do it manually. Hi, now I want to show a couple of specialty cards that we can make through the system. One of them is here at the top menu under Guests, Checkout Card. If for some reason we want to terminate access for guest cards on a particular room, we make this checkout card. Once selected, just hit OK. Now that card is issued. We would leave that card at front desk. But again, taking that card and tapping it on a particular lock will terminate any prior guest access. Still allow for staff cards and emergency cards. Now, the second type of card that I want to show you is under cards. It's called a lock card. And if we make this lock card, we just use a regular guest room card and just make it. And you can hear that beep, and that means the card has been issued. Now, if we tap any lock with this card, it will stop access to all guest cards and staff cards, and only the emergency key can open. So this would be used, for instance, for a pool or gym door, which we want certain hours of access only. So that's the application you would use that for. Hi, another feature of the software is the check button. And this, for instance, we can use if we find a card or a wristband or fob and it's not identified, so we just want to know a little bit more information. We would hit the check button once it's on the reader, and we can see here, this is the last card we've made. We made a locking card, which is a lock card. It gives us a little bit of information like who issued it and also the issuing time. Now, another important feature of the software is staff cards, and they are under the members icon on the menu here. If we click on it, the member management window comes up, and there are three categories here. First is the emergency cards, which the ownership group is under. And here I have 5 slots. Now these are the emergency keys that can be issued, and we can make more if we have to, but initially there are 5. Very easy to make. Once you double click on the icon, you'll get the emergency card window that comes up, and here we can do up to 4 different options. One is we can update the card number if this is a brand new card. We can put a date limit on it, which we highly recommend since these can open all doors at any time. And also whether it can open a double lock, which is a deadbolt. And then the fourth option is the passage mode. And passage mode means that the door will be unlocked once it's tapped, and then will have to be tapped again to lock. So for instance, it would turn the door into a closet door, which means anybody can open and close it. So typically we would use this in a meeting room or a conference room where people need the door closed but have to come in and out. So that's the application that you would use it in. Not really recommended. Can create a bit of havoc if a staff card or emergency card is in passage mode and is being tapped on several locks. So be careful with it, and don't recommend using it unless you absolutely have to. So once we have our options, we can just hit issue. We get the card information window again that comes up. Just hit OK. And now the card has been issued once we hear that beep. Staff cards under that, typically and staff cards, they're subdivided here into management, front desk, housekeeping, and maintenance. Typically for all 4 categories, it's the same type of issuance. So for instance, if we're going to make a housekeeping card, for instance, we just select an icon or one that's open here. So let's just double click on 21. And here, unlike the emergency cards, we do have to put a date limit on it. We do select whether they can open the public doors or not. And then we have some card options as well. You don't have to select the update the card number because I've already made the cards for you in the software. Passage mode, again, don't recommend it unless it's absolutely needed. Opening a deadbolt, that's under the discretion of your management. And then enable a temporary card is something where if you have power outage and you do need a staff card to allow guest cards to open or issue guest cards to open rooms, you can do that through here. So once we've made our selections, we would just hit issue and we get the staff card information window that comes up again, and then just hit OK. We hear the beep and the card has been made. All right, now we do strongly recommend for any cards made, staff, emergency, or otherwise, that you right click on it and you rename it for whatever the function is. So a name or however you categorize that, those things. Yes, so that you were able to, if you have to audit a room lock, that you are able to know exactly who went in and out. Okay. Last category is the temporary cards, which if you do require that, if there are a lot of power outages that affect computers and that sort of thing, let us know. We will gladly help you to set that up. It's a bit outside the scope of the initial training, so we'll just leave that. And to get out of the window, we just exit out. And now we're back at the main window. And now we're going to talk about the operators, which are the logins for the software. So if we click on operators here at the top, we get the operators window that comes up. And we have two groupings here, as I said before. The administrator, which is 01, and then front desk, which is 02. And then under those groups are the operator codes. So for the GM group, administrators group, we have the operator code 01. And again, if we wanted to change the password on that, we would just right click on the operator code and then go to properties and then put our password in. Once and then twice to confirm and then hit OK. And same for the front desk group. We just click on it and then just right click on the operator code 02 and we can put our passwords here as well. And then just to come out of that window, we just hit the close button and then we're back at the main window. Another option on the software is the view. You can change the display. So if we click on that, we can go to large icons, we can go to small icons, we can list them, and also we can go back to details. So depending on the size of your property, you make that choice. If you have a lot of rooms, then you would probably do the small icon, but most people just go with the details so they can see what's going on. The relog in button here is just that. If you are in the software and you want to go to 02, for instance, you don't have to shut the software down. You can just do that, put in your details, and then just hit OK. And as you can see now with the 02 operator, some of these functions are grayed out. So basically just for a guest card. The exit button is just that. If we hit it, we will exit out. Thank you, and I appreciated your time today. If you do have any questions or just want to learn more about the software, please go and drop us a line at support@mtechlocks.com, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you and have a great day.